All right, welcome back to White Mountains today. We have Andrew Drummond, who just this summer broke the record for the fastest Direttissima of the White Mountains.
That works. Yeah,
does that work?
I don't think anyone knows how to say it.
Well, yeah, was I
it.
close?
Yeah.
How do you say it?
I say Direttissima now.
Direttissima.
Yeah.
A little angle on that. But so how did that get applied to what you were doing? Is that a long-standing record?
It was a term coined by the guy that first did it back in 1970, Hank Folsom. I think he's out of Randolph, and he broke up the White Mountains into one big, made it into one big section hike. So he did all 48 4,000 footers over the course of 19 days, where he would drive to the last spot that he left off, hike a section, and then get picked up by his wife, go home, sleep, or maybe he'd sleep a night on the trail. But he did essentially what people spend their lifetimes doing over the course of 19 days, and Direttissima comes from an Italian word meaning most direct route. So he just found the most direct way to hike all 48 in one effort, essentially.
Now, that being said, the direct route, I've also heard it called the shortest link in Italian. I guess what qualifies it, because there's so many different ways to do it. Like he used a car, some people use bikes in between. I know Hans has done one too. Well, how do you define that, I guess?
Well, what's the most efficient way in like logical order to do the peaks? You know, there's so many different combinations you can do. So the way I did it was starting from the southern end from Moosilauke and ending in Cabot, and then drawing a line, connecting them all, where I took into consideration how much vert you were going to gain and lose, and then how many miles in between, and if I had to do bushwhacking and all that sort of stuff, like where you're going to get water.
That's an incredible amount of planning.
It's a lot. Yeah, it is a lot.
How did you get all your information?
I had friends. I had a lot of, actually.
I have friends.
So people had done this before. A couple people had done it in the style that I wanted to do it. And so I started off with their map. And then I just sent that to my friend who looked at the elevation and the mileage. How much would I have my pack on? Could I leave my pack at a junction and then do an out and back with a lighter pack? And so you have to weigh that and figure out what's going to work the best for you.
And what motivated you? Because this is a large amount of work, and I know that you inspired a lot of people along the way. I know my husband Jason was coming home and like checking in on you every day, trying to see where you were and how much you had done. But what motivated you to tackle this huge project?
This was all inspired by last summer in 2015. I was somehow recruited and got involved in Scott Jurick's Appalachian Trail speed record. And so I crewed him through 100 miles of the White Mountains. And that was 3 days. I maybe got 5 hours of sleep. And that was my first taste into this multi-day
endurance thing. How did that come into I want to do more of this?
Because I loved it. I absolutely loved it. You think, I mean, I sleep all the time. I sleep 8 to 10 hours a day. And you think, how could I function off of 5 hours of sleep? Well, it's amazing. When you're motivated and you have a reason to be covering this distance. So with Scott, after that ended, I just had to think, well, what can I do? And I heard about this hike, and that was like, all right, that's my project.
Wonderful.
But,
and how long did it take to plan this?
So I had a year. I basically gave myself a year, but a lot of that was just getting fit, and making sure that I had the experience to do this successfully, or give myself the best chance to do it successfully. And then a couple weeks, I would say like a month leading in, I was spending a lot of time just mulling over the maps and logistics of it all.
Yeah, so. Wonderful. And well, the presence online was a big thing for, I know, a lot of people to check in on you. But the video production that I've noticed, and actually they can show some footage, we have the video, it's high production value, it's gorgeous. I mean, you really did a great job shooting and documenting, and the ups and downs. And of course, Squall here, who's awesome, who did part of the trail with you, right?
Yes.
Come on,
my training partner.
Yeah. So what parts did you bring Squall? Oh, wow, kisses. All right. Yes, I love you.
Yes. So Squall started off the hike with me, and he did the first 20 miles, which was great. And then he joined me later for Mount Hale, and then that very end, Cabot. Nice. So, but when you go back to the production value and sharing it with others, that was really important to me. There's this aspect of real-time adventure storytelling, and when this is going on, this is about as real as it gets. So the people that could follow online, they could see my tracker, and I'd upload video. They get a real sense of what I'm actually doing. It's not some polished production. This is, if I'm suffering, I'm suffering. Right. If I'm failing, I'm failing.
It was gritty at times.
Yeah, and it's not easy.
Real.
And I think a lot of that gets overlooked. And so to be able to share that with technology today and the social reach is incredible. And
it's gorgeous.
If I'm on the couch, this is what I want to be watching.
Right.
So that's how I looked at it.
It is. And where can they find that video if they'd like to watch it in its entirety?
YouTube channel. They can search it out on YouTube. My Facebook page. Actually, the easiest is my website, skithewhites.com.
Skithewhites.com, and actually
very easy.
Yeah, and we should link that over from our website as well, so we can give people an easy path to it. What's your next adventure?
Winter.
Winter.
Yeah. So all this stuff is really just off-season training for skiing.
Yeah.
I'm a skier at heart. I grew up here skiing,
too.
surfer,
yeah.
And I'm hoping to apply a lot of what I've done this summer into the winter, maybe doing some ski touring, multi-day stuff. Not quite sure I'm ready for the winter version of this project I did, but something similar down the line would be incredible.
Yeah, no, are you going to be transitioning into this entire lifestyle? Do you figure it's already your lifestyle, or you know, like if people want to come hang with you on the trail or something, can they do that?
Of course, yeah. I think it's really important to share what we do here in the White Mountains because it is so special growing up here. There's so many things you can do. And so I try to make a point after every time I go out and have like a fun outing to just make a short video to share that so that people can see these are the real-time conditions and these are things you can do in the White Mountains. Going back to the Summers Project, I wanted a big reach, a big audience. I want people locally and nationally and worldwide to see how incredible it is that you can do a project like this and maybe inspire them, but really showcase. And so maybe other people will come and they'll smash my record, but other people come and fail and have this respect for the mountains. And so I'm going to continue, hopefully, to do that through the winter time.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I know you made it down to Camp Tecumseh this past summer and inspired some kids as well to see, you know, they had never heard of Direttissima.
Close enough, yeah.
And you inspired a lot of young kids. You were at camp.
Yeah, I spent my whole childhood at summer camp 2 months out of the year, and I'd hike all summer, and then my parents would take me hiking in the fall. And so when I got to reconnect with the kids and pass along this epic journey I did, I wanted to plant a seed in their head and let them realize, as other people made me realize, that what's possible.
Right.
And
you can do cool stuff. You can do stuff that you didn't think you
don't have to. You don't have to hike the White Mountains the same way everyone else hikes them. You can do it your own way. So I'm trying to get the older kids to do my project over the course of the summer. So break it up.
Yeah. Think out of the box a
over
little bit,
6 hikes. Yeah, just something that I just couldn't. You know, if you told me when I was a 15-year-old that you could do this, I don't know. I thought a presidential traverse was the biggest thing you could do.
And that's big unto itself. Now, before we let you go, I know we've had you on for a while here, but how many miles would you average per day? What?
You know, I didn't look at it per mileage.
Okay.
I looked at it each day. You know, with a project this big, your first day is going to be, let's just take it very conservative because you know you have, you know you're going to have so many more big days ahead of you. Plus your pack's the heaviest at the beginning, so it didn't really scale mileage day to day because some days were just naturally going to be more difficult based on the terrain. But it worked out to be 40-ish miles a day. I'd say it's 240 miles total. I originally planned for 7 days, gave enough food to do it in 8 days, but I had such a good weather window and my body was great, my gear worked out that I was able to do it. Yeah, I was able to do it in 6 days. And so for people trying it now, like, you know, some people might do it and they might plan for 12 days, they might plan for 5 days, and that's the great thing about it is that you just make it your own adventure.
And anything's possible. And one last question before you go, what was your biggest hurdle in this whole project, would you say?
Sleep.
Sleep.
Yeah, sleep is the biggest deal. There's no when you're trying to do something this quick, you don't have the ability to pack all the comfortable sleep gear. So I would sleep and completely underestimated the 50-degree weather up there, mid-50s, and my body was so depleted that I would wake up shivering. And I'd have to keep up and I'd have to get up and keep going. But I initially thought it was going to be my knees. I thought my knees were going to have issues. I thought I thought that there would be some steep sections that
Yeah.
would be really, really difficult, but you know, when it all came down to it, it was just really being tired at moments. But what can you do? You just sleep.
Yeah.
You
I
lay down. I just lay down.
I get emotional.
I would lay down on the trail. I just lay down on the trail and
Yeah.
I'd sleep a little bit,
Yeah.
take a power nap, and get up and keep moving. It was like, it was incredible. I mean, when you're in that environment, you can't really, you don't dwell on the negatives. It's all,
Right.
it's beautiful up there. So.
And you're doing a great project, and of course you had squall along the way for parts. And
Yep.
Andrew, congratulations! That was a great feat, and looking forward to what you have. Come here, squall. Looking forward to what he's like. No, I'm not listening to you. Come here, buddy.
He's done. He got his camera time.
He's leaving me hanging. Oh, he's totally giving us the eye. It's so funny. But Andrew, congratulations once again. And I am looking forward to keeping up. SkiTheWhites.com is the website that folks out now lose.
Camera shy. There you go.
There he is. There's Squall.
Sit.
But thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate it. Now you can go get some more sleep if you're into it.
We're going to go run.
Oh, good. Down at Whitaker Woods. Excellent. Well, thank you again. And folks, you can find out more again at skithewhites.com, and we'll link over from our website as well. So stay tuned. More here on the show, and we're going to be taking a look at the weather forecast too.